Welcome everyone to the show. This is Above the Fold. I'm your host, Austin Brown. Today we have Katie Stanley. She was here for our first show and now she's back. Katie, what's been up?
Oh, not much. Just been writing.
You ready for the end of the semester?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's coming. So Katie, I see you're Above the Fold this week. The title of the story is UCOSA Makes Changes, Violations Continue. Could you tell us a little bit about your story?
So basically, UCOSA has been making some changes to comply with OMA, ORA, their own bylaws, and UCO's student conduct. But there are some violations still continuing within those.
What is ORA and OOMA or OMA?
So OMA is the Oklahoma Meetings Act, and it is a state law that requires all meetings of public bodies to be known to the public. And basically, Oklahoma Records Act is all of those government documents and things need to be available to the public.
Okay. And what is the purpose of these acts?
So the purpose of these acts is basically just to make sure that a government is functioning in a proper way, so that way the public can get everything it needs out of its government.
Gotcha. And so UCOSA has to follow these acts, right?
Yes. In their own bylaws, it says that they should fully abide by OMA and ORA.
And why? Why do they have to follow these acts?
Well, they have to follow these acts because they are a public body, and so OMA requires that public bodies that receive public funds to follow OMA.
And public funds are?
In this instance, public funds would be student fees, and that is the student activity fee that we pay every semester with our tuition.
Gotcha. Oh, okay. So what are some of these violations that are overlooked?
So recently, some of the violations that have been made is they're not doing their minutes correctly. They're not recording the votes in the proper way that they're supposed to. And they, on February 27th, an email was sent out to cancel a meeting that was on March 5th, which does not comply with OMA because there was not 10 days notice. And then on February 26th, an advisor was not present at their meeting, which in UCO's student code of conduct, there has to be an advisor present.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the first one. What is the big deal about canceling a meeting 10 days before, like without 10-day notice?
So in OMA, it says that you have to have 10 days notice. Part of the reason for that, specifically in this instance, is that students need to know when that meeting is going to be, so they'll have time to be there. If there's not 10 days notice, then they might not have been able to make it to that meeting, and important decisions are being made in these meetings, such as budget issues.
And without the 10-day notice being canceled, students still might show up. Gotcha. And then what you said congressional minutes, what are those?
So congressional minutes it's basically a document that shows everything that was covered in their meeting. And that is when the meeting started, when the meeting ended, who was there, what they talked about, and it's supposed to have who voted on what. But currently they just say pass, failed, or tabled. But they're supposed to have each senator's name that voted and how they voted.
Okay. And in your story, I see that you said that the current way UCOSA handles voting is incapable of recording each senator's vote. Is that a problem?
Absolutely. Yeah, they can't record the minutes the way they currently do it.
And so that means that it's not being that senators aren't being represented for their votes.
Right.
That's the problem, right?
Right. And I interviewed a senator from UCOSA, Colton Kidd, who had said that several senators abstain from voting, and that's important for students to know as well.
Gotcha. And then also, you said that advisor didn't show up. What could be a solution for UCOSA?
Well, currently, right now, the only advisor that they have is Cole Stanley, who is the associate vice president of student affairs, and they also have a graduate assistant, but they could have more advisors. And in the student code of conduct, it also says that it doesn't have to be an advisor, it can be a qualified member. So it could be anybody to have replaced him at that moment.
Gotcha. Well, I think we unfolded Above the Fold. Thank you, Katie. Do you have anything coming up in the Vista next week?
I'm currently working on the future of Edmonds Energy regarding wind and solar energy.
For sure. You guys make sure to check that out. Thank you, Katie, for being on this show.
Thanks, Austin.
If you guys could like, subscribe, and share, highly appreciate it. See you guys next week. Peace.